In this video, we're being asked about triangles and whether or not they are similar. So find the value of x that makes triangle ABC similar to triangle DEF. Now, if triangles are going to be similar, they have to be proportional throughout, meaning we have proportional sides. What we can do in a problem like this is set up a proportion. Okay, so I'm just going to set up a proportion right here. I'm going to say side AB over side DE. Side DE, these are corresponding sides. So we're setting up the proportion. AB over DE has to be equivalent to BC over EF, or we could do AC over DF. Now I'm going to look here. BC is given as an expression x minus 1. EF's given as just the number 18, so those are pretty basic values to use. Here I got an 8, and then I got a distributive property problem, 3 multiplied by x multiplied by 1. This just looks more simple here to use BC and EF, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to say BC over EF. Make sure if you start by putting AB on top in this fraction, if you're using AB, you're using information from that triangle. So if we're going to use information on top over here, we need to make sure it comes from the same triangle AB came from. So notice AB is from the small triangle, BC is from the small triangle. Both pieces of information are numerators. Down in the denominators, those are information coming from the larger triangle. Okay, so we set up a proportion. Now, all we have to do is substitute information in for these expressions. So AB is really just represented as a 4. So we're saying 4 over DE, which is 12, over 12, has to be equal to BC. BC is x minus 1, so we're going to say x minus 1 over, and then we're using EF. EF is 18, so we're just going to put an 18 in there. Say, we've got a proportion. Now we just got to solve for x. We're being asked, remember, find the value of x. Now we have an equation we can solve for. So let's just get rid of 18 down here by multiplying this by 18. That will cancel this out. That means we need to multiply the other side by 18. So I'm going to take 4 twelfths multiplied by 18. 18 times 4 would give me 72 over 12 is equal to, what do we still have on the right side? X minus 1. So just write down what you have. We're, again, just trying to isolate a variable, just like back in algebra. So line down the middle here. 72 divided by 12 is going to give me 6, is equal to x minus 1. We're just going to add that 1 over. You have a negative 1. Add 1. What happens? Cancels. Add 1 over here. Now we got 7 equals x. So now we have the value we're being asked to find. Find the value of x that makes ABC similar to DEF. So what we're discovering right now is this has to be a 7, okay? So we've got a 4 by 7 minus 1. So 4 here, 7 minus 1, and then 8. So this triangle of 4 by 7 minus 1 by 8 has to be the similar to the larger triangle, which is 12, 18, and then 3 times 7 plus 1. Now, if you haven't noticed already, we knew right away, before we did any work on this problem, we already knew that this triangle was 1/3 the size of this triangle. How do we know that? Well, 12 divided by 3 makes 4. And you just kind of have to base it off of that one side, I guess. Okay? So we know that this has to be exactly 3 times larger. Okay? So let's find out if that works if we put a 7 in. Remember, we placed our x's here and here with 7s. So now we can check to make sure we got this problem right. That's one of the beauties of math, right? Is that when we're done, we can just double check and ensure that we did it correctly. So this has to be times 3, right? 3 times bigger. 7 minus 1 is 6. So let's just erase that and put a 6. Well, 6 times 3 makes 18. Sweet. So 3 times the size, 3 times the size, 8 times 3 would make 24, so this has to come out to 24. Let's see if it does. What's 3 times 7 plus 1, which makes 8. 8 times 3 is, by golly, it's 24. So by doing this, you can check to make sure the number you found, 7, is giving us what we need to make sure that these two triangles are similar. Hopefully this makes sense. Study hard and good luck on your upcoming test.